All right, so now we're going to talk about our most anticipated games of 2024. This is always an exciting segment each year, which is, I guess, our second time doing it, but I'm excited about it. So we're going to talk about that. So I went on BGG before it crashed and tried to look at all the games that are coming out in 2024. And the game that I came up on that I was like, whoa, this is happening. Actually, Daniel even put me in the direction of it's Age of Rails. So this is in the same series as Iberian Gauge and Ride the Rails and Irish Gauge. There you go.
Yeah.
And this is the fourth one. So it's got that same aesthetic, same kind of art style. It's going to look nice next to the other ones on the shelf. And from what I was able to read for it, this seems kind of like a Age of Steam take on it, while the other ones are kind of like different, kind of takes on other traditional board games or traditional train games, like the Iberian Gauge kind of has a light 18xx feel, very light, but kind of feels it there. And then Irish Gauge kind of has a Chicago Express feel to it. This one has a Age of Steams thing. So since we're talking about the most anticipated games, I mean, I'm an easy sell for a train game. I'm especially an easy sell for any of the games in this line because each one of them I've enjoyed. They've all been great. They really have pared down the game that they're trying to mimic in a good way, in a satisfying way. You can play them in about an hour. I assume this won't be any different. No way to know for sure until then. But mine's Age of Rails because, hey, man, if you can make Age of Steam play quicker, I'm in.
Oh, do you have any honorable mentions? Anything else you want to throw out there?
I mean, I would have if BGG didn't crash.
Yeah.
But I was not able to get anything else written down before it crashed. So.
I saw this one coming out and I was like, that's a Chris game. That is not my game. He can talk about that one.
That's one of my games too. Chris is right about that series.
Well, because you have the other ones, you got to have it next to the other boxes.
Well, yeah, even if I hated it, I still got to buy the fourth one because then it would just look incomplete, and we can't have an incomplete collection.
Daniel, this is going to come up later, but the things you're saying, I am so glad I live further away from you now. Anyway, you rub off on me sometimes the wrong way. Like I said, we'll get to that with predictions later. My most anticipated games, there's a couple actually that we've had on the show that we've talked about briefly that are kind of anticipated that are coming out. So one of them is Pampero, which we played, a demo copy of, and I'm curious to see what they change in the final product, which is coming out later this year. And I really liked it, and so I'm excited about that one. That's a runner-up. Another one is Galactic Cruise, which we had a brief run-through at Gen Con, and got to meet the one of the designers, and that looks fun still, and I'm curious to see what comes of that. But the one that stuck out for me, I am going back to my roots of Euro games that are bland and great. And so I'm going back to a good old game by the good Dr. Reiner Knizia that I'm looking forward to called Cascadero. It's the good doctor's latest game. It looks intriguing to me. Components have a nice colorful throwback look to them without being completely bland. I mean, it's a little bland, but looks pretty good still too. Seems like it has a unique system. Yeah, on brand.
Yeah.
It's nice, but not flashy, So there you go. But it looks like it has a unique system to it, and it looked like it has a tight system, rewards for the player building a unique engine that cascades, triggers different things. Haven't looked at it in a great bit of detail because, again, also BGG crashed as I was doing my research. But I'm excited to try this one out. It piques my interest. One thing I really like about it is the fact that it is the opposite of what I got excited about last year, which I got excited about an IP game. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia. I got all suckered into it. They got me because I'm an 80s kid, and it wasn't what I wanted. This has none of that, so I'm excited. It has a theme I don't care about, and it's going to be great, I'm sure. Going to be a great Euro game.
What's the name of that again, Andy?
Cascadero.
Cascadero? Wasn't that a couple characters from Happy Days? Pinky Cascadero and Leather Cascadero? I was thinking it was a Happy Days game. I thought this was going to be a roll and move.
Obviously, I'm excited for that. I never actually got to that before it crashed. So if I'd have seen Knizia, I'd be like, that's it. But yeah, that sounds great. I mean, and then the idea of cascading actions. I mean, I mean, they're one of my favorite mechanics of all time for Magic is Cascade. So the idea of cascading stuff and Knizia together, man, that would have been it if I'd got there, but I didn't.
Nothing says this is a Knizia game more than the fact that the game sounds like Cascade, and that sounds like the primary mechanic. Did you just name it after the mechanic of the game? Cool.
I don't know for sure. I didn't get too deep into it, but yeah.
After 800 games, you just name it anything.
Deck building, the deck building game is coming next.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Deck builder.
All right, guys. Well, for mine, I will say that 2024 looks like it is going to be a really great year. I was shocked at how many things going through the upcoming games, how many of those I wanted. I haven't had a year like that in a long time where I was like, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that one, and I'm going to buy that one. Because again, despite what Chris says, I do not buy all the new hotness as soon as they come out. I do have a very large shelf of shame, but it's not because I'm buying the newest ones. It's because I buy something new 2 years ago, and then I hold it for 2 more years. But anyways, I'm going to buy a lot of games this year. And some of them are already on my way, and that is going to be my first game, and that is Slay the Spire, the board game. I love this video game. If you are a board gamer and you like to play any kind of video game at all ever, go get Slay the Spire. It feels like a board game just on the video game version. It's one of these roguelike games where every level kind of changes. The game's never the same twice, but it kind of is, but not really. And then you are also you're building your deck as you go. After every encounter, you're putting another card into your deck, fighting these monsters. And the video game is great. So I'm super excited to see how they do this in a board game version. It is going to be cooperative, but if done right, this could be really great. And the other one is a Robo Man, which is also a cooperative game based on a video game. While it's not IP though, but this is literally Pokemon the board game. It is a future where people have destroyed the world and they've replenished animals with robots, and these robots are now trainable, and you can collect them just like you would Pokemon. The book has a map that you go through, encountering new scenarios, new things, and your whole goal is just trying to be the very best that there ever was. Pokemon Robomon. So I'm excited for that one. That one's coming my way. And my last one I want to throw out there is Ezra and Nehemiah. It's the new Garfield game. And it's a Christian themed game. So cool, or in this case, Jewish themed game, right? Because it's in that religion as well. But still, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited how this guy, who is a very renowned designer, has taken this historical concept of the walls of Jerusalem and the city of Jerusalem being rebuilt, and how he's going to bring that to the table. All of his other games have been such great successes, and I expect nothing less from this one. So I have not purchased a Garfield game yet. I think this one will be a purchase for me. So I'm really excited. And there's several more. There's expansions like the Cubitos expansion that's coming out that I'm super excited about. There's a Marvel Legendary 2099. I love Marvel 2099. And of course, the Marvel United Multiverse expansion. So I have 20 more boxes of Marvel United coming this year, which I'm super stoked for.
Wow. That's insane.
So I'm actually excited about at least 2 of those, if not all 3. And specifically, I'm excited about Slay the Spire because I can officially confirm with that game when it comes out, it's going to put the red stamp on stop making board games of video games. It's not going to play like you want it to. It's not going to do it. It's not going to deliver. I can't wait.
Not going to have a D-pad.
We'll see. It might be good. I hope.
What takes 30 seconds in video games takes 30 minutes in a board game.
That's true.
It's not gonna work.
I'm excited about that Ezra and Nehemiah though. I'm glad you're getting that because that's one I've been interested in. Now I don't have to get it. Daniel's gonna have. I just have to beg him to break the streak off of it.
I actually want to try Ezra and Nehemiah, but I'm hoping they have a wreath skin with dragons later.
Yeah. But with that said, by the way, back to the Slay the Spire. It's possible that this actually might fix my problem, like how I don't like Marvel United or Sentinels of the Multiverse or any of those multiplayer co-op card games, because you actually don't do very much on your turn. But with knowing how Slay the Spire actually works, the actual video game, it's possible it is more Dominion-esque, where you're playing a whole bunch of cards on your turn to do the thing. So if it does like the actual video game, there's a chance I actually might like it. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Thank you, Daniel.
All right, John.
I'm gonna try to cram all mine in here. I've got like 3 of my ones.
Well, tell us what you think. I'm sorry, John hasn't gone yet.
Not your segment either, Andy.
I know.
All right. But the first one is Wondrous Creatures, which our friend Sarah Shaw was on the show recently talking about this. This is one of her
Yeah,
more
yeah.
anticipated games. And I had seen it and heard about it, but after she said that, I said, I'm going to look into this. And this is right in my wheelhouse, man. It's a weight of 275. It's a playing time of 40 to 80 minutes. And it's worker placement where I thought it was just animals. No, it's like, and usually fantasy isn't my thing, but this looks like some really cool art of just like imaginary creatures that you're going to be putting on your farm, your collection, whatever you call it. But just the quality of it too, and for the price point, it's like a $55 game. It's got a beautiful board. It's got the screen printed meeples, and you have like meeples that ride these little creatures too. And so it's like, what, I don't know why, but they do. But it sounds really cool, and it's you got a personal board, one of those dual layered personal boards, which I love too. And so it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's checking off all the boxes or something I'm gonna have to get. So Wondrous Creatures is probably my number one. But also the biggest John game that's coming out is probably Sunrise at the Studio, where it's a little 20-minute filler game with the art of what's her name here? Laura Bevan, which I have looked into her artwork, and it is amazing. So they have no pictures of the artwork online, especially today because Board Game Geek's down. But even regardless, there wasn't any yet. But her art is amazing. And so this is all about creating like different pieces of pottery. So it's going to have artwork all over the place, easy kind of light set collection game where you're just doing the things you have to do to complete different pieces of pottery. And it's something you can throw out there for 20 minutes and play with anybody. Something out of the four of us, I will be the only one interested in, but it looks really like it's going to be really cool. And the last one, I had to mention this one. I mentioned something about Mad Magazine last time with the 43-man Squamish. Gru the Game is going to be coming out. And it's from Steven Jackson Games, but it says art and design by Sergio Aragones, which, if you know, he's the artist of Gru the Wanderer, and he's the art. If you're familiar with Mad Magazine, all the little artwork in the spaces, the little throw off those stuff, that's Sergio Aragones, famous artist. And so it's a dice rolling take that game where if you're familiar with Gru at all, I don't know if Daniel ever read Gru comics, but it was kind of making fun of Conan the Barbarian, where Gru is this wandering like unbeatable dude, but he's an idiot, and everybody wants him out of their town. So you're all building your kingdoms up. You attack each other, and oh gosh, here comes Gru. What's he gonna do? You just don't know what he's gonna do. Roll the Gru dice. Oh crud! Get him out of my kingdom. So it sounds like thematically it's gonna be a blast. But it plays 60 minutes long though, which sounds a little long for that kind of game. But maybe that's at the 6-player count. It's 2 to 6. So that's my third one on my list.
John, displaying once again that you're so much older than the rest of us. We all thought you were talking about Gru from Minions. So.
Yeah. No, Gru the Wanderer. Look it up. It's and if you see a comic of it, it's pretty funny.
Sounds good. Yeah, I do want to mention one game just because Joe Wiggins from All Plays was on our show and before, and I kind of wanted to give a shout out to one of All Plays new games coming up, and it's called River Valley Glassworks. I was actually able to be shown the game, which was super exciting. Yes, I'm name dropping there, but
yes,
I don't care.
But it
not
is a sponsor. He's just a hack.
That's right.
Wait.
That is their attempt.
No, Chris, that sounds like you're saying Joe's a hack. You're saying
that's what it sounded like.
Daniel, absolutely Daniel, not Joe. No.
Just clarifying that.
Yes, absolutely.
No, this River Valley Glasswork is their answer to like Azul and Splendor. It looks beautiful. It's really cool art, which I know Chris cares a lot about. But Azul is one of my favorite games, and Splendor's not bad. Despite what people say that I think about it, it's not a bad game. So they are hoping that this one is actually a Spiel des Jahres winner even. So I did ask him, I said, so it's a party game, right? And he didn't get the joke, but I think we all do here. But still, look out for this game. I think it's going to be pretty hot, and I'm excited to give it a try.
Sweet. Spiel des Jahres 2028. We'll be looking for it.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. That's how the system works. Well, that's what we got for 2024. What do you guys have for 2024? What did we miss? Please let us know in the comments. We really like to know it. Like, seriously, like I'm not. It's not just a gimmick to try to get you to comment for the algorithm. Like, again, what did we miss? Because Board Game Geek was down, so we don't even know. So let us know what games you're excited about, so we can check them out and maybe talk about them later in the year. Thank you so much for watching it in this video. If you'd like to watch the full episode, check out the description below. Around the Board is a board game video podcast where we talk about board games and other board game related topics. We assign points to one another based on our banter, and then at the end of the show, whoever has the most points is given a small amount of time to talk about whatever they like. So if you enjoyed it, please join us in the future around the board.